so I know that you're here. What's up, Warrior? Today, I'm going to talk to you about the one communication skill top leaders must have. And the title of this is Warriors Have Crucial Conversations. If that sounds like something interesting to you, be sure to like this, share this. And if you're not subscribed to my podcast yet, be sure to do that. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever that it is. We're going to give you life transformational, business transformational tips today. Um, Crucial conversations is something that is important to have. To define it, it is where emotions are high in a situation and stakes are high. It's those awkward conversations. It's the ones that no one wants to have. But if you want to be a leader in life, if you want to be a leader in your business, if you want to make big impact, it's a must thing to do. Now, it's one of those things that I thought that some people had and some people like me just didn't. In fact, let me know in the comments below. Are you somebody that is okay and comfortable with confronting conversations that are kind of weird? Or are you the one that kind of backs off, right? Put a 1 in the comments if you're a confrontational one. You're like, I got this. Put a 2 if you're the one that's kind of like, that's kind of weird. Now, I'll share with you a story to embarrass myself first. This was not a second nature thing for myself. I found myself learning this through the dating scene, actually. My first girlfriend that I ever had, I've only had one girlfriend prior to my now wife, Becky. But my first girlfriend, it was like a tale of two cities. My first girlfriend, it was always rainbows and butterflies. Life was super good. We never had a fight. I thought everything was going to be amazing, right? We're going to get married and blah, blah, blah. And 2.5 years later, one day, with no warning, she comes into my car at night. We're about to go grab a dinner. And she's like, hey, we need to talk. I'm like, sweet, let's talk. She's like, I need to break up with you. I'm like, what? Huh? Where did this come from? And in hindsight, what I realized was this, is that because we never had crucial conversations, because we never actually nipped issues in the bud, it grew and it festered and it got worse to the point where that relationship grew stale and the relationship was not together. I wonder if you've had that happen before. Second part of that, I then started dating my now wife, Becky. Completely different story. In our first 6 months, I made her cry almost every single day. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? I suck. But you know what I realized is this, is that in any relationship, whether it's in a romantic relationship or in your business, is that you're taking two unsharpened people and you're roughing each other out. And fortunately, my wife, Becky, was willing to confront situations head on. We discussed it, we worked through it, and we got closer and better together. And 8.5 years later of marriage, usually happy, sometimes challenging for sure, but usually happy, I see the complete difference. So, warriors, in your business and in your life, you must be willing to have crucial conversations if you want deep relationships, if you want great leaders in your business, if you want to be able to get things done. Because if we keep on running from the situations that most other people run from, that's not how warriors do it. So the question is this, how do you have a crucial conversation? What's the skill set to it? It's something that's learnable. So let me break this down. And I want you to think about any situation that you have. Maybe it's something in your business and you're working with a teammate. They did something that you know they should not do. And you as a leader, you're thinking, how do I confront this? Right? How do I do this in such a way where their guard doesn't go up, where it doesn't feel all weird, where you don't lose the relationship or hurt it, but it becomes something better? Okay. Number one is this, is that when you're having a crucial conversation, always lead with the heart before you slap with the hand. Okay. And we're not going to slap them, but just to use that as a dramatic word. Okay. The reason why crucial conversations are tough is that if they're not handled the right way, is that the guard is up on both ends. Have you ever had a situation where where you felt like you were in defense mode because you felt like that other person was out to attack you, was out to nag at you, like it just doesn't feel good, right? In business, it doesn't work. In life, it doesn't work. So the first thing you want to do before confronting the actual situation is you want to create a safe space so that both parties feel comfortable and vulnerable to actually share. I hope you're getting this. This is so crucial in business, so crucial in life. So what does that look like? Let me just use an example of a business situation where I'm working with a teammate named Bob. Bob did something, and it was something that we know is not with the culture. It's not helping Bob. It is an offensive situation. It's something that's not serving anybody. So the first thing I'm going to do with Bob is I'm going to ask for permission. And before I go right in for it, people have different levels of critique that they can take and feedback that they can take. And most people, they have a high guard because we're all self-conscious about things. Okay. So I'll ask Bob, hey, I'm wondering, can I give you some feedback that I feel is constructive for you and can help you? Right. So ask for permission. See if they're open. Many times people want to get better, but they need to be willing to hear it out first. So to be on the safe side, some people say this. Some people say, well, they're just going to give it to me unfiltered and I'm just going to lay it on them. You can choose to do that, but what I've realized is it's more important not just to get your point across. What's important in transformational leadership is that they actually hear and do what you want them to do. So if that's your goal, rather than just being right, if your goal is to transform their life, then be sure to lower the guard first. So number one is ask for permission, create that safe space. Make sure that you can feel that they're willing to receive what you're about to give. This one little step will save you so much trouble. It'll allow your points to go right through. So number one, I'm going to ask for some permission. Bob, is it okay if I share with you some feedback here? I think it's going to be able to help you. Okay. Let's say Bob says yes. All right. Step number one is done. Step number two, attack the situation, not the person. One of the biggest issues that crucial conversations, why they go sour, is because they can be emotional. We tie our emotions and our personal feelings with the actual situation. We're not trying to deal with a personal thing here. We're trying to deal with a situational thing. Make it about the situation and the problem, not just about you. Now, could it have affected you? Yes. Could it have hurt you? Yes. Deal with this after. Because let's not deal with the feeling side yet. Let's deal with the root. Okay, let's deal with the root. So be very clear with addressing what the problem actually is. And we have to verbalize this. It can't be vague. It's be very specific, because remember, when we're in this crucial situation, this crucial conversation, and emotions can be so high, people are on guard, people are looking for any way to kind of pin it on back on you. Okay. So with Bob, for example, what I'm going to say is, Bob, hey, I know that we just had this meeting. You said this, and I feel like it came across this way that could be offensive and not help you. I have a suggestion that I think can help. Okay. Be very specific on the behavior. Be very specific on exactly what happened, because Bob might have had a wrong turn. He might have had an offensive situation, but it's not that Bob is bad. You see, what happens a lot of times in these crucial conversations is people take critique or feedback as a personal judgment on their entire character. Because we all want to be accepted, isn't that okay? Hey, who here wants to be accepted and loved by people? Put a me in the comments if that's the case. I do. So I never want to feel like I'm a bad person. So we have to be very clear that when we're addressing these conversations and these situations, it's not that their character is bad. I always give them the benefit of the doubt. It's just that there was a situation that happened that we have to be very careful about. So you want to label out the problem very carefully. And you also want to give a reason why this is not beneficial for them. Okay. So number one, in crucial conversations, ask for permission, create safe spaces. Number two, be very clear on the problem and the situation itself. Number three, this is key. Number three, be very clear on the negative consequence it could have for them that won't be in their benefit. When we're going through these crucial conversations, it's not about how it affects you. It's about how it can affect them. Here's a phrase you might want to jot down. What's in it for me? People don't care about what you have to say unless they know about what's in it for them. So what does that mean? In a business context, I'm going to go to Bob. Bob, you said this in a meeting that could have been construed as something offensive. And if we don't change this, what it might do is with your business prospect, they might unintentionally take offense, close off, and you lose the sale. You see, now Bob can see the consequence, and Bob wants to make more sales. Bob wants to make more money. So now he's listening. Now he's like, oh, okay. What's in it for me? I want to make more money. I want to do better business. Okay, I don't want to lose business. Now I'm listening. So he knows the consequence. Okay, so we nipped it in the bud. So we created a safe space. We addressed the problems specifically. We addressed the consequence towards them and what they want very specifically. Number 4, we then want to get understanding. Okay, so we don't just want to like spew it onto somebody. Being a crucial conversation, it's like you're in surgery. Okay, you don't just want to lay it on them and be like a hit and run. By the way, have you ever had that experience yourself? Has someone ever criticized you seemingly out of nowhere with no explanation, and they didn't even have a conversation? They just dropped it on you, and you're like, what do I do with that? It doesn't feel good. It feels like you just got slapped, right, for no reason. So in this situation, you want to make sure that you confirm their understanding. You want to have a dialogue. The goal of this crucial conversation, it's not a one-sided thing. It's a conversation. That means both sides. So in the middle of this surgery, we're in the middle of dealing with the situation. I'm going to ask Bob. So Bob, I'd love to ask, like, what do you think about this? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Like, it could be wrong, right? Like, what do you think? You see, when you say it, you can be wrong. But when they say it, they can't be wrong. Did you catch that? So your job isn't done just communicating the matter. Your job is done when you know of communicating is when they can repeat it back to you. When you can actually sense that they have understanding and agreement in this. Okay? So Bob, like, okay, I see exactly where it's at. All right. Now what do? Don't leave them in the mess. Give them another alternative. Give them a suggestion. Don't just say you suck. Tell them, okay, that wasn't the best, but this is what you can do better. Give them a solution. You see, so many times, many of us, maybe we've had this situation with parents, maybe it's with your authority figures, maybe it's with your teachers, where all they did was called you on what was wrong. But if you want to be a great leader, if you want to be a great communicator, don't just note what's wrong. Everyone can notice what's wrong. It takes a leader with heart. It takes a great communicator. It takes a warrior to be willing to now give them a better solution. So I'll tell Bob, this situation could have caused offense and this could have made you lose a sale. You know, one thing that I would suggest, catch this word, guys, suggest or recommend. Put it in the comments if you're in agreement with me. Suggest or recommend. So we don't want to impose or force something on someone. We want to suggest. Okay? This is just like an opinion. This is a feedback. You could be wrong. You couldn't be wrong, right? But here's a suggestion. Bob, the next time you go into the situation, instead of over talking the prospect, try asking some open-ended questions. Like, let's say we're in a sales situation, right? And Bob, I saw that he was just over talking the product that he was trying to sell. I just bet Bob, next time, ask them some questions that are open-ended. Like, what are your health goals? Let's say they're selling a health product. You know, what have you tried before? And what this will help you to do, Bob, is create connection and understanding. And you'll see the better that you know them, the better that they're going to trust you and your recommendation for a solution as well, too. Bob, what do you think? What do you think? So do you see how this works? Crucial conversation. Emotions are high, stakes are high. You go in and you ask for permission, create the safe space. You address the problem, not the person. You make it very clear what the consequence of this problem is to them. You confirm understanding all throughout. So you're having this conversation. You offer a solution, a recommendation, a suggestion for them, and then you see what they think. If you do this all together, you're going to see that you're going to gain tremendous respect. If you do this correctly, you're going to see that you're going to grow closer in relationship with this other person. And you're also going to see change in behavior, not just because you nag them to do it, but because you encourage them to do it. And as a leader, you're going to grow a culture where people are going to trust in you and seek your advice and seek your counsel because they know you're always firm but fair. They always know that you're able to you're able to be connected to them. You're able to be empathetic to them, and that they're not just going to get slapped or critiqued. They're going to actually be in a safe space. And this was a story. I had a leader situation coaching one of our rising stars, and this person had a situation that was a crucial one. They had a new teammate. This new teammate was saying some very negative things about their business behind their back. And it was hurting their business. They were losing sales. They were losing trust in their team. It was like a negative cancerous type of comment. The first response that this leader had was, James, like, I'm just gonna leave it be. I don't want to deal with this. Like, I'm just gonna avoid it, and let's just hope that it's gonna do something. Well, I had this crucial conversation about a crucial conversation with the leader. I'm like, we got to nip this in the bud. Walk them through these things. And this leader was coachable and had the crucial conversation. And what's so fascinating was this. Right away, this person that was giving the negativity had a change of heart just like that. All of a sudden was super, super bubbly. All of a sudden, never said anything negative. All of a sudden was super empathetic and apologetic, and was just like change of heart. Just like that, change their tune. Customers were happy, partners were happy, everything was happy. Why? It was because the leader themselves was willing to have this crucial conversation in the right way. And when you do it the right way, you gain respect, you gain trust. People know they can't mess with you. But people also don't want to mess with you because they know that you're someone respectable. People know that they're dealing with someone that's really real, that's willing to call them out, but is also willing not to bury them in the call it as well too. And when you have that type of personality and you have that type of communication, you have that type of leadership, I'm telling you, you're going to gain trust and respect amongst your people, your clients, your partners, your family, your friends, your loved ones, that you never would have had before. You're going to have true connection with other people. So I hope this was encouraging to you. I'd love to hear any comments below on this as well too. Monica said, great advice on having open and honest dialogue. I'm grateful that that's helpful. Try this. I encourage you to do it. Yes, it's crucial. Yes, it's awkward. Yes, it's weird, but warriors go and they have these crucial conversations. It'll change you and it'll change your life. Hey, if I can do it, I know that you can as well too. Other than that, hey, if this was encouraging to you, be sure to share this or subscribe to my podcast as well too for this plus more. Other than that, talk soon. Warriors out.